For more, we're now joined by security analyst and senior lecturer at Unisa's Department of Police Practice, Professor Dumisani. Mabunda. Prof, good evening. Thank you so much for your time. Really do appreciate it. A number of questions out the park that Cat Matlala would have to answer. What the nature of his relationship is with the minister, Senzo Mchunu. What the nature of his relationship is with EMPD official Major Mkhwanazi himself in that instance as well, in Ekurhuleni. We'd have to hear about his relationship with the former Minister of Police, Bheki Cele. All of these questions are quite important as thematic frameworks. What could it do for our understanding tomorrow and going forward about the scale of infiltration into the police department?
Thank you very much for the opportunity. South Africans are waiting with bated breath to hear what will be said tomorrow. A lot of witnesses have testified against this individual, and then tomorrow he will have an opportunity to put his side of the story. As we know that in law there is this concept, od alteram partem. We need to hear the other side of the story. We have heard a lot of witnesses who have been piling accusations after accusations against this gentleman. So tomorrow we are all waiting to have an opportunity to hear what he is going to say.
Interestingly and importantly here is that this is not an adversarial process. That is to say, Parliament's ad hoc committee is a fact-finding mission. It's not a court of law. So Cat Matlala is not on trial here. But he could potentially be proffering and offering information and evidence that could self-incriminate him. And despite the fact that he is not in front of a court of law. But being under oath means that he has to be transparent, forthcoming and truthful. We've seen that the Matlala Commission had a difficult time balancing that out with Brown Mokgotsi. Do you expect a similar dance and cadence to take place between the Ad Hoc Committee of Parliament and Cat Matlala, where Cat Matlala will want to offer as much as he possibly can without being seen as recalcitrant, but not self-incriminating?
I suppose all witnesses are aware that when you take an oath in forums such as the Matlala Commission and the Ad Hoc Committee, it's almost similar to the oath that you take when you are in front of court. So all witnesses are aware that whatever they are saying is going to be used somehow later on. So I'm not expecting him to come before this committee and lie. I would suppose that he will tell the truth, and the commission will obviously sift through all the evidences that have been provided by other witnesses, including his, at the end of the processes. We also have an opportunity that witnesses can appear in both these venues, the Matlala Committee and the Ad Hoc Committee. So if in one of these processes they contradict their earlier version of the story, obviously the committee will use that when they have to make recommendations at the end of it all.
Yeah. Let's consider the Matlala Commission for a second. It is expected to tender an interim report to President Ramaphosa by the end of December because it was given 3 months to produce that interim report and then 6 months for a final report. And of course, Parliament has been running its ad hoc committee concurrently along the same period of time, having seen almost just as many witnesses as the Commission has. And so Parliament also, the ad hoc committee has also, gathered and collated quite a lot of information, data and evidence. It is not expected that they produce an interim report of any sorts. They will produce a report when they finalized all the work that they've done, but there's no clear indication about how long exactly that might run. Do you think it would be advisable for Parliament to also now consider an interim report before Parliament term comes to an end so that the executive can begin to make decisions now already and not wait down the line for more information which could drag out for a long time about what changes could be made in the South African criminal justice system?
Yeah, at this stage, it is not clear as to whether the application for extension will be granted, because we are not sure how many witnesses are still going to appear before the ad hoc committee. So in a normal time frame, they were supposed to finish their work at the end of November, but we hear that they made an application to the Speaker of Parliament for extension. So it will depend on how long this will take. But I think to be comprehensive, the ad hoc committee should wait for all the witnesses to testify so that by the time they give the report to the president, it's a comprehensive report and they've looked at all other avenues so that we don't get a piecemeal report. But yes, in the recommendations that they will make, some of them will be adverse findings that will require these individuals to appear before the court of law. So at this stage, we are not certain who will be appearing before the court of law after this process.
Yeah, Prof, we're going to have to leave it there. Really, thank you so much for your time.